I've been waiting 7 years to be able to say this, but the Yankees finally own the Houston Astros. What's going on, guys? It's the King of 161st Street. I'm back in another video, and the Astros came into town and left with 1 win out of 3 games, meaning the Yankees take the season series 6 out of 7. This is how it happened. Before we go into the player performances, let's go into the game by game. First game, Luis Gil takes the bump and gives up an early home run to Kyle Tucker. That was the only hit he allowed. Luis Gil has been a revelation for this Yankees rotation. We get offense all over the place, even Stanton hitting one of the most unique home runs you will ever see. Over 119 miles an hour, going about 9 degrees off the ground, getting out of the ballpark in less than 3 seconds. One of the craziest home runs that I've seen in a while. We got production top to bottom in that game, starting off with a Verdugo home run to bounce back from that Kyle Tucker home run. We did not turn back from there. Game 2, Carlos Rodon is on the mound. And again, Kyle Tucker hits a first inning home run. We could not stop Kyle Tucker in these first 2 games. I will say this till the day they retire. Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez are 2 of the scariest hitters that I have seen in my lifetime. Aaron Judge is obviously up there. You have Juan Soto obviously up there. But a guy like Yordan Alvarez, a guy like Kyle Tucker, they are definitely in the top 5 scariest hitters I have seen in my lifetime. Those 2 are absolute menaces. But again, it did not last for the Houston Astros, as Juan Soto, off of a Anthony Volpe base hit, hits the ball left center field for a home run. This was a shot. You don't usually see lefties hitting it into Death Valley in left center and actually getting it over the wall. What a shot by Juan Soto. But then again, the Yankees never turned back. This was a great start from Carlos Rodon, a start we desperately needed to see out of Carlos Rodon after that stinker he put up in Baltimore. Great way to bounce back for him, and the Yankees go on to win this game. We officially won the series there. Today, going for the sweep with Marcus Stroman on the mound. Marcus Stroman hasn't been the most consistent as of late, and that kind of continued today. He gave up 2-out home run to Yordan Alvarez. You're like, okay, we've come back from that. But then a quick base hit from Jeremy Pena turns into a home run from Singleton. Is a rare home run. He hit the base of the grandstand. That is a shot. And you kind of looked at that and you said to yourself, I think this is going to be a tough night. And the next inning kind of made you think that you were on that track. But Marcus Stroman fought this entire game. He impressed me with the gall he had, just the heart it took to make sure the Yankees had a chance in this game. He gave up 4 earned, but with the way that game started, it could have been a whole lot worse. I give Marcus Stroman a ton of credit for coming back and righting the ship after such a terrible start to the game. Offense was a bit slow until Anthony Volpe hits a 2-run homer. That made it 3-2 at the time. The Astros get 1 more back, but then Aaron Judge, one of his longest home runs of his career, 475 feet to left center field. He basically hit the terrace out there. It was a moonshot. 4-3. The Yankees had opportunities to get this game tied. It did not fully pan out. The Astros squeak out of here with a win behind a Josh Hader save, which is a rare occurrence nowadays. Overall, what a homestand for the New York Yankees. 5 out of 6 on this homestand. Win 6 out of 7 against Houston on the year. I want to go back to Aaron Judge, to anyone that was doubting this man, our captain. He basically just gave you the royal middle finger. Aaron Judge started off the year. It was not a good start. Everyone could admit to that. Aaron Judge would admit to that. The way he handled it throughout the whole scenario, throughout the whole month of April, throughout the first portions of May, he was stoic. He did not show 1 ounce of concern. And there was a reason for that. He knew the problems that he had to fix, and he fixed them. A lot of it has to do with balance. Was pulling off a lot in those early games. Now he's not pulling off at all. If you watch the way he finishes his swing, he was finishing very extended in that first month of the season. Now he's starting to finish in his normal stance. He just needed to get a groove back because of the abdominal injury he had in March that took him out of spring training for a while. It took him longer than expected. People have to remember, this guy was named captain for a fucking reason. He is a resilient guy who knows how to pick himself up by the bootstraps and get his shit dealt with, and especially to handle it in the manner that he did. When Yankees fans were booing him at Yankee Stadium, handling it like Giancarlo Stanton. Basically like, yeah, I would boo me too right now. I kind of suck. That's how you handle it. But right now, he is showing you the MVP caliber player that he is. Over his last 7 games, he has over a 1,400 OPS. That is unfucking heard of. Unheard of. He's gotten his home run total all the way up to 10. That is only 2 or 3 behind the major league lead. He is producing at an all-time level in these last 7 games. And it was only a matter of time before he became himself. This is who Aaron Judge is. He's making good plays in center field. Now, do we want him in center field full time? That's a question you need to answer for yourself. I'm not going to really convince you on that point, but he's still playing a solid defense out in center field, cutting off balls and gaps, being able to retreat at a good rate. His toe, fine. Nothing injury wise is hindering him at the moment. It was just a mental thing he had to overcome. It was a mental hurdle that he had to overcome. And once he was able to overcome that mental hurdle, watch out. And this is what I've been saying. This is the guy that we've been hoping for. And we finally got it. You pair him with Juan Soto and you get these last 6 games. This has been one of the best Yankees that I have watched since the first half of 2022. This has been such a fun little sample size. I'm hoping this is extended. One of the things that helps this extend is the production we're getting from Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton, with runners in scoring position right now, is batting over 300. For a guy like Giancarlo Stanton, that is crazy. He is producing with mammoth home runs. He had 2 home runs in this series where you're like, how the hell is he that strong? No one knows. But yeah, he is that fucking strong that he's able to hit a ball 8 degrees and get it over the wall. Didn't even give Michael K time to do his signature call. Then the next day, have a ball hit the same speed, just a little bit higher, and it goes into the deep part of the second deck. Again, out before 3 seconds. He is starting to produce at the level that we want him to produce at. Look, he's never going to be the contact hitter that will get his average above 270. That'll get his WRC plus over 101, over 150. You're never going to see that. But when he is hitting at a WRC plus of like 110 and he's still producing up to 7-8 home runs, he's able to give you a 230 batting average, 240 batting average, have an OPS in the 850s, 900s. This is the Giancarlo Stanton we need behind a Juan Soto and an Aaron Judge. This has been a revelation over the past few weeks for Giancarlo Stanton, and this has been so extended that you can't just call this a fluke. This seems like he has sort of rejuvenated himself, and part of that is possibly thanks to the team buying in to James Rousing and that system that he has. It takes a few weeks in the season for players to sort of buy in to a new hitting coach's system. They had Sean Casey to end last year, and things started steadily improving. But then Sean Casey decided, yeah, I don't really want to do this anymore. He left, so they had to get the Detroit Tigers' former hitting coach, James Rousing. And look, to start the year, we had a few shutouts. The offense was not 100% great. Once these guys seem to have bought in to what James Rousing is saying, this team has started to emerge from the depths of hell. And guys like Giancarlo Stanton, guys like Austin Wells, one of the most unlucky hitters in baseball, things are starting to go his way. way. You have guys like Jose Trevino stepping up. You have Oswaldo Cabrera, who has had such a good year to start after a pitiful last year. This team has been a revelation, especially over the past week. Guys like Alex Verdugo, putting him in that cleanup spot has been a revelation. These are all key factors. The only guy that hasn't stepped up so far is Gleyber Torres. That is the only mishap in this lineup at the moment, and we're hoping that at some point Gleyber Torres can get this together, but he just looks kind of lost. Until he gets to 2 strikes, he looks lost. I don't know why. With 2 strikes, things sort of click, and then he's able to go the other way, and he's able to keep his body sort of balanced and level. But before that, he kind of just swings for the fences. You would have thought that that home run in Baltimore would have given him a sense of confidence, a sense of worth for this team that would have galvanized him and kind of gotten him back into place. Sort of like with Aaron Judge, and this past week, it sort of seemed like it's galvanized him and it's gotten him back on track. Sort of like Giancarlo Stanton. Gleyber Torres has not followed suit in that, and it's becoming a big concern, not just for fans. This is starting to become a concern all over. The Yankees have never been a team that has been fully sold on Gleyber Torres. And I brought this up in the offseason when I was drawing up a hypothetical trade with the Marlins to get Luis Arraez, because I know the Yankees won't give him the money he's looking for this offseason, especially the way he's starting this season. He is not getting the money that he is looking for. So he's either going to have to take a major pay cut from what he's expecting, or the Yankees are going to have to trade him. I thought Luis Arraez would be that guy to kind of replace him and give us sort of a different look offensively, but it doesn't look like we need that sort of offensive punch at the moment and that sort of style. He's in San Diego now anyway, and San Diego got him for like a bag of chips. That's also a confusing deal because they have Xander Bogaerts, Fernando Tatis, Jake Cronenworth. Why do they need so many middle infielders? Who fucking knows? Anyway, this situation with Gleyber Torres is going to hit a breaking point, and that breaking point could come in the form of not signing him after the season, could come in the form of trading him before the trade deadline. There are a lot of players that have been put up on the trade market, a bunch of them from the Marlins. A guy that has been brought up is Jazz Chisholm. Before would not have fit the Yankees way, but it looks like the Yankees are parting ways the Yankees way for the most part. They still keep some of those things, but overall, they're letting Soto be himself. They're letting Verdugo wear his chains. They're letting Stroman and Verdugo wear the do-rags on the field. They are doing away with this like uniform style to where Jazz would fit in. And he does play second base. I know he moved to the outfield last year because the team needed him to. His primary position is the infield. He's primarily a shortstop, but he's better at second base. His best position is second base. It would add another lefty to this lineup, which would definitely benefit knowing that we have the short porch. Jazz has had a good year to start. The batting average isn't fully up there. The RBIs, the home runs, the OPS, it's all up there as one of the better players. He most likely will be an NL All-Star if he keeps this up. So if he's on the market, and Miami has been a team that has been fully in on trying to get Gleyber Torres in the past, if he's on the market and that value has shrunk, there's a possibility you would look at something like that. Never mind that. I got a little off topic. This will hit a breaking point where a trade like that will happen if he does not start getting his shit together. They would package a guy like Gleyber Torres with a Roderick Arias and another pitching prospect to go and get a Jazz Chisholm or go and get X player or Y player. He has to start stepping it up because he's starting to become a little bit of a liability. And I mean stepping it up everywhere. It's not just offensively. He kind of looks lost at times this season on defense. The amount of times a ground ball has been hit to him and he throws it to third instead of just getting the out at first. It annoys the shit out of me because every time it hasn't worked. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to play hero ball. These teams are too accustomed to that, and it costed us in the Baltimore series. it's going to cost us again if he keeps doing it. So that breaking point seems like it's getting closer and closer. And it is sad to say because he has been a staple since the Baby Bomber era. He was literally part of that Baby Bomber team. He was in 2018. He was right after our run once we traded for Giancarlo Stanton after 2017. He was on that team. So he's been here for around 6 to 7 years. This is a mainstay Yankee. You don't want to see these guys leave. At some point, when it hits this sort of boiling point moment, it leaves the team with no other choice. With his contract coming up, we are heading to that point. I don't want to leave you on a somber note. The Yankees go to Tampa Bay now, where they historically haven't been fully great. This is not the same Tampa Bay Rays team. Hopefully, the Yankees can get a huge series win in Tampa. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. You're new here, hit that sub button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.